Unwritten stories of significance. If I got a show for you, I always have amazing shows, guys. It sounds like repeat pizza, but it's the truth. I have a beautiful young lady on. Her name is Carly Burow. Carly currently attends McMaster University right now. And I'm not going to tell you too much about her because I want her to tell her your story. So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Carly Burow. Hi, Carly.
Hi, Joy.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, sweetie pie. So finally we get to do this interview, my love.
I know, it's so exciting. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, you're welcome, honey. So I know about you, but our viewers don't know. So if you'd like to introduce yourself to our viewers first, my love, we'll have a great conversation.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, my name is Carly. I go to school at McMaster. I'm in integrated science. I don't know what else, Joy.
No, that's okay, honey. That's a great introductory, honey. That's perfect. So you're attending McMaster University. All right. Now, where do you currently live? Like you don't live in Hamilton, right?
During the school year, I live in Hamilton. I'm about
Right.
like a 10-minute walk off campus, but home for me is Simcoe, Ontario.
Okay. Now, is that a big town or is it a small town? Is it big or small?
It's small. It's small. It's like right on Lake Erie. There's around 10,000 people that live here, so it's small.
Wow.
Hamilton is a big
Okay.
difference.
Well, nice and cozy, right?
I love it. Yes.
There
very
you
good.
go. There you go. So now, just delving into it now a little bit more. You live in Simcoe County, and now you went to McMaster. So why did you choose McMaster?
Um, I've always loved the school.
Yes.
The campus just feels so engaged and so welcoming, but I chose McMaster mostly because of the program that I'm in.
Okay. All right. We're going to delve into that too. I just want to ask you one more question. What was it like to move from a town of 10,000 to Hamilton?
An adjustment for sure.
Yeah.
There's always noise in Hamilton, and we don't have public transit in Simcoe. So the first time that I ever took the bus,
Yes.
I ended up going to Aldershot GO station, and I was trying to go to downtown. I was so lost. It was getting dark, and I ended up calling an Uber to go home and tried again the next day and dragged one of my roommates with me. It was awful, but I'm getting better at it, and I'm good at using the bus system now.
Good for you. Okay. Let me just jump in there for a second, sweetie. I'm originally from the city. So when I came to Alliston, which is a small town, I got lost driving around to find my house. So no, because what it was, hon, all the roads were dark. Like when you go in the city, you got Tim Hortons, you got places, everything's lit up. But
Oh yeah.
here it's all country roads. So I'm like, what the heck? I didn't know but I got around, so I can totally understand. Totally understand, hon.
Yeah.
All right. That's
It's great
funny.
now. It's great now.
Yeah, that's right. So what are you taking at McMaster right now? What are you currently studying?
I'm in integrated science and I'm concentrating in biology.
All right. So why did you choose that to study?
Um, Integrated science it's a research-based program that really looks at science from an interdisciplinary perspective. Um, and because it's so hands-on and so involved, I felt like it would be better for my learning and better for my appreciation of science. I wasn't really like it really forces you to focus on topics in science from all different realms, from physics or science, chemistry, and it's really cool to be able to see it from there. And so yeah, I really wanted to gain that perspective.
Good for you, hon. Good for you. There was a couple of pictures that you sent to me, my love. Now you're the third year, right?
I am in my third year.
Third year, but we're going to reverse it back because there was a beautiful picture that you sent me on being online. If we can just show that up for a second to show that to our viewers.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Now, what was that like doing online your first year? Like you're starting university and like, okay, COVID's here and now I'm locked up. Like, what was that like?
Um, Really difficult. It was a big adjustment. I think adjusting to university coming out of high school is already difficult as is, and having that additional element of it being online really made it hard to connect with what you were learning and connect with your peers and your profs and everything. So it was an adjustment. I am very fortunate there was only 50 people in my class in my going into first year. So I we formed an online community and really were able to build those connections on Teams and on Messenger and everything. So, but it was funny because we did our labs online as well, and they were like little video games on your computer screen, and you had to use like your mouse and your keyboard to like do the lab and do the experiment. And it was an experience. I definitely wouldn't do an online lab again, but it was cool to be able to see it on a computer screen.
That's right, hon. I
Yeah,
commend you all. I commend you all. I really do, because that was a tough time. But you as students pulled it off. And I believe it made you stronger in a way, right?
for sure. For
Good
sure.
for you, hon. Good for you. In the next picture I want to bring up, it's your second year, I believe. You are working in a lab on a research.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what was that like? So you're out of COVID, you're in school. Like, what was that like? And if you can explain that picture there, because you're so cute. You're holding like, I think it's like tweezers and you're holding a leaf. Okay, what were you doing there?
Yeah. So the tweezers and the leaves. So we had our learning is all research project based. So
Yes,
that research project was plant animal interactions.
right.
And my group was looking at the effect of acidity on aphid growth
Okay,
on these leaves. So we basically put a whole bunch of aphids on plants, and then we sprayed them with different pHs, like water with different pH,
right.
um, and looked at how that affected their growth. And that was our research project. And we had to do like statistical analyses on that, and do a write up and a poster presentation on our results.
Wow. So when you did that little mouse thing, when you had to do your thing online, how did you feel being in school, actually doing it without being online? What was the difference? How did you feel?
I knew the procedures of everything in my head. I knew how to use a microscope in my head, and I had like a list of 1 through 10 on how it works and everything, but it's so different when it's in person and you have a microscope in front of you and you have to adjust the platform and everything. So the first couple weeks of second year were just like a boot camp of learning all the skills that you were supposed to in first year that you
Mhm.
learned online, how to do them actually in person. So it was an adjustment, but it was really cool to see what we've done online come to fruition in real life.
Wow, hon, good for you. What keeps you going, hon? What keeps you going? Because I know the sciences and school and stuff, like when you, like, okay, you're in, like, what actually keeps you in the game? Keep you going with your studies? Because I want to get into the next part, because you did a real great thing.
Um, I love it. I love the sciences. It's something that I'm extremely passionate about. It's something that clicks. You know, when you find something that
Yes,
just clicks, and
yes.
I go into class every day and I'm excited to learn and I'm excited to do new things, and I'm excited to see like where my career in science takes me. And I think that just it keeps me going. Doing something that you love, just yeah, awesome driver.
And you, when you're just saying that, your beautiful face just lit right up. Like it just lit right up when you said that, honey. And this is a message unto your peers. So let them know to love what you do. You know, my
Yeah.
love? All right. Now, also, you did a synthesis, an academic symposium. You did a presentation. And I think you did it with one of your friends, one of your peers, Micah Eckert.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right, my love. And there's a picture showing you guys standing outside. So how was that presentation like doing that?
That was awesome. That was our very first opportunity to do our own research project and to guide it ourselves. So my peer, Micah Eckert, and I, we looked at Lyme disease
Right.
and how climate change is affecting the migration of ticks in Ontario and how Lyme disease affects the social determinants of health. So Micah modeled the spread of ticks with GIS, and I looked at the health aspects of that, and we got to present that in Integrated Sciences Academic Symposium Synthesis, which was super cool.
Wow.
Very nerve-wracking to get up on stage and have a big presentation and talk to everyone about your research, but it was really, really cool and an awesome opportunity.
Good
So I
for
think
you.
that picture is all of us that got to present, just a picture of all of us.
That is awesome. How does it feel coming out of your comfort zone, Carly?
Well, when you're
Doing that.
actually doing it, it sucks. It sucks. Like, actually pushing yourself to go outside of your comfort zone sucks. It's difficult.
Yes.
I know you get like the shakes and the nerves
Oh,
and everything. You
yeah.
start sweating and it's awful. But the rewarding feeling you get after you've done something that's outside of your comfort zone is just it makes it seem so easy. And like, I want to do it again, you know?
Good for you. So you'll go on stage next time like this.
Yes. Not saying that I wouldn't be nervous about it, but I would definitely do it again.
Good for you, my love. You know something? It's so true. It's so true. And I know many people that I know, as well as a good friend of ours, who actually got a tick bite and suffered through that. So your research on your synthesis that you did is good education for us. You know what I mean? That's awesome, hon. There's a quote before we go to break. In fact, I want to ask you really quick. I'm looking at the clock, so don't get me wrong. I'm not being rude. I'm looking at my clock here. All right.
Okay.
Allow yourself the privilege of a calm mind. Really quickly, if you can break that down.
I think it's really easy to get overwhelmed with school and your extracurriculars and balancing friends and family. And that leads to burnout really quickly. I think I keep that quote on a little post-it note on top of my desk, and it reminds me to just calm down and take a minute to breathe. You don't need to push yourself until you break.
Mm-hmm.
And your brain deserves half an hour, 10 minutes of just nothing a day and just to recoup, because it's a lot. It can get a lot.
And on that note, we'll be right back with Carly Burow. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Unwritten Stories of Significance with the beautiful Carly Burow. Hi, Carly. That was amazing, my love. Great job. You are welcome. It was humorous, educational, fun, and real. And I love the end quote. Amazing, honey. Amazing. Now we're in the second segment, and you are a hard working and focused young woman. Would you say that you're hard working and focused, man?
I like to think so, yes.
Yes? Okay. Because you are, you really, really are. Because I don't want to take away from this segment, because you have been recently published, April the 3rd, 2022, an academic review with your peer, Bianca Mamarella. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Woo, I practiced that, baby. All right. And I'm so proud of you, honey, as well as your parents are, as well as we are, and you should be proud of yourself. So if you can break that down, because it was really in depth, and somebody being you who's educational, educated, and talking about integrated science, if you can break that down for us, please.
Yeah, so one of our research projects was led by Dr. Roxana Vlad, and my peer Bianca and I decided to do this research project on non-small cell lung carcinoma. Um, and so our paper kind of gives an interdisciplinary look into this type of cancer. We look at the epidemiology and go over some of the socioeconomic factors of lung cancer and genetic factors. We then go into different treatment methods, um, detection methods, sorry, and go into the
Okay.
physics behind low dose spiral CT scans
Mhm.
and how that works in detecting lung cancer. And then we go into the treatment methods where we look at radiotherapy. We actually coded in Python a cell survival curve using high dose radiotherapy.
Wow.
Um, and we went into chemotherapy and talked about the chemical aspects of chemotherapy, and really just wanted to give an overview of everything from diagnosis to treatment and a really interdisciplinary look into the non-small lung carcinoma.
Wow. I could not explain that to the viewers. Well said. Like, no way could I have done that. Wow, that is no, really, I couldn't have. That's why I had to ask you to explain it. Now, I know that you sent me the link and I was looking over, and it's around 5 pages, around five to 6 pages.
Yeah, yeah, around there, yeah.
Wow. So when did you start it? Like, it got published April of this year, but when did you and Bianca start it?
Um, so we probably started that one in February of 2021. Around
Right.
there is when we met Dr. Vlad and we started writing this paper. And then it wasn't until like the fall of 2021 that we decided to submit it to Sciental, which is the paper that it got published in.
Right.
Um, so we submitted it in the fall of 2021. It underwent a peer review process and then got sent back to us. And then we edited it and it sent it back and underwent another peer review process. And then finally in April of 2022, it was published.
Oh my Lord. So just for the viewers, and I understand, okay, they know who peers are, but when you say peers, is it peers within your faculty that is, like, how would I say, working with you on it? Not working with you, but you're presenting it to, then it comes back and then you got to edit it again and then you got to go back. Is that it? That's the way it goes?
Similar, it's basically a panel of people who work for the journal, Sciental or volunteer for
Okay.
the journal.
Okay.
They edit it and then they send it back to Bianca and I to approve the edits or fix whatever they want fixed, and then
Right.
we send it back in.
So how did you hold your patience and cool? Like, how many nights did you stay up going through it, researching it, pulling it, like making it so more informative?
A lot, a lot. I think just keeping in mind what the end product was going to be and like
Right.
it's worth it. Like we've always put on some music, worked through it, took our little dance breaks or whatever, and then kept going. So yeah, just focusing on the end product and taking the breaks.
Right. How was it like working together as a team?
It was good. Bianca and I have a very similar mindset um, and drive. So for projects like this, we really click and work well together.
Awesome. Did you choose each other? How did you both collaborate together? Let's do this together.
So Bianca and I met online in first year,
Yes.
like on an online chat room. I think we worked together on one of the projects that we had at the very beginning of the year,
Yes.
and we just clicked. And ever since that first interaction, we would study together online, like on FaceTime or whatever. We would study together, and we did group projects together. So it's really grown into an awesome friendship.
Good for you, hon. So from February 21, when did you and Bianca find out that it was published? Like, how did you know?
So Bianca actually sent me a copy of the journal with
Right.
a paper that was published in it. And she sent me an email and it said, "Congrats, beautiful," in the subject line. And she never texted me, never called me. And I just opened my email one random morning and was like, "Oh, there it is. There it is." And then, of course, I called her and we had our little celebrating phone call or whatever. So,
Good for you. How does it feel, hon, to put in all that work and see the rewards? Because this message is really important for youth because you're working, 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 but you don't see it. And all of a sudden, boom, it pops up and you're like, darn it, it is worth it. How does it feel?
it feels great. I think it's really easy to get overwhelmed with like the pressures of life and of school and to not see that final reward aspect. But once you actually get there and once you actually see it, it's amazing. It's awesome. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Awesome. Did you send it over to your parents? And
I did.
how did you share it with your mom and dad and your brother Noah?
Well, they knew they supported me in the process of getting it published, so they were with me through all the ups and downs and the stressful nights.
Yeah,
But as soon as I got it published, we ended up going out for dinner at the keg. Like it was awesome. It was just a nice night to celebrate the process of getting there. They were so
that's
supportive. It was awesome.
and it's the beginning of many, Carly.
Hopefully.
No,
Yeah.
it's the beginning of many, hon. The beginning of many. You left us a couple of quotes here before we get into the next picture here. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. Why did you share that quote with me, beautiful?
Um, I think failure is a really hard thing to face,
Mhm.
especially when you're working on something that you're really passionate about. Like, I really thought that we had this paper perfect when we sent it in, and there wasn't going to be any edits, and it was going to be smooth. And in a month, it would be in the journal. It didn't end up being like that, and it was hard to hear that we needed to fix some things.
Mhm.
And I think it's important to take these experiences as learning experiences and how it can help you grow as a person, as a scientist, as a student. Um, yeah, so it's really about mindset.
Wow, hon. So from the time you started school 3 years ago to now, what have you learned as a student? What have you learned? As a young woman, what have you learned from your growth that you can tell the youth?
Um, that super cheesy, but anything is possible if you put your mind to it. It's super daunting getting into something like research or going into university or starting something new, but don't let your like mindset keep you from reaching your goal and keep you from reaching your dream. So
That's
just hard work and determination will get you where you need to be.
You got it. And just to quote you on something here, hon, that's not cheesy. I love it. It's plain simple and it's just telling you like it is. That's why I love it so much. There's one more picture we want to show with our viewers, Carly. And correct me, was it Guatemala you went? Where did you go?
Yes, it was Guatemala that I went to.
Awesome. And you're surrounded by those little beautiful gems. So you can share that trip with us, please.
Yeah, so I went on an encounter to Guatemala, um, and with my high school school board.
Yes.
Um, we worked in the community 20th de October, and we built a community kitchen. We dug a water line, and we also built a fence around the local school because there was issues in the community of people coming in and stealing school supplies and
Right.
stealing supplies for the students. So we built a fence around the school. Um, but we also got to make connections with the people that were there and really learn about their culture and their way of life. It was a really life-changing experience, and I think it's shaped and influenced what I want to do in my future.
Okay. Can you share that with the viewers? Because through our pre-interview, it was very touching. Very, very touching. Can you share with that part?
Um, yeah, so I think it really helped me to recognize like my privilege living here in Canada, how lucky I was. So my goal right now is to go to med school, become a physician, and then hopefully spend a few years living in a third world country and providing medical care or teaching people from that country how to provide medical care.
Wow, honey. You know you're gonna do it, eh? You know you're gonna do it.
Yes, I know I'm gonna do that one.
Yes, you are, hon. Definitely you're gonna do it because you got a huge heart and that picture reflects it a lot. And just you being the beautiful person that you are, Carly. We haven't got too much time. We've only got around 15 minutes. The 15 minutes, my God, wake up, Joy. 15 seconds. What words of wisdom, pretty girl, would you like to leave for our viewers, hon?
Keep your head up, keep trying, and allow yourself the privilege of a calm mind.
You go. Oh, I like that. And on that note, give me the heart. There you go, hon. Thank you so much, Carly.
Thank you, Joy.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Bye.